How's everyone doing? Also, I have your name poster in my background. Yeah, and also like my starting student screen is kind of inspired by your name. It's like inspired by Kingdom Hearts and also your name, like the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3 with like the, you know, like the sunset background thing, but also like your name, Sky. Yep. Thank you. Yes. So we are going to be ranking every single JRPG that I have ever played. I spent a little bit of time last night putting together a tier list.
I'm back.
So, Darlington, thank you for the 32 months. Though I am going to have you guys look it over for me real quick. Just to make sure I didn't miss any, because I might have. And I am supposed to rank every game I've ever played. That was one of our sub goals for a subathon. And admittedly, I have not done it yet, mostly just because we made a list of all the games I've played, but it was so many, it was so much more than I thought, that it would take a million years to put it together. But if I do it slowly like this and start with JRPGs, then I can add more on. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm excited though. Let me pull it up real quick. I made an account just to make this list. Okay. This makes it look like there's barely any games on it.
I'm back.
There have to be more than this, right? Is it? Hopefully I did this right. I'm trying. Did I miss anything? Hold on, let me pull up my folder just to make sure. No, this must be it. I think. Wait. Oh. I don't know if it got all of them. I can add more. But I'm confused because I thought I added them. So we've got files. I think I know what happened. I think I just need to add, yeah. Here we go. Okay, now it should be every JRPG I've played. Yes. But I'm gonna have you guys look it over regardless because it makes it look like very small. Are you ranking them as franchises, single games? I'm not including every single game. Like, I'm not including every, like, side game or anything like that. Like, I'm not including Union Cross, but I did include, like, Birth by Sleep, 358/2, Chain of Memories, and... Is that it? Yeah, I think. You'll see. We'll look over it. We will riot if Bouncer is not #1 spot. I did put Bouncer on there, but I have to say, I don't actually know if the Bouncer is a JRPG because does it have a leveling system? What makes a JRPG? I always get confused. I actually don't even know. Because apparently Elden Ring's a JRPG, which I thought it was more of like an action adventure game, but that's a JRPG. So, and I also found out Pokemon are JRPGs, which I didn't really know that. So Niers are JRPG, yeah, for sure. You know, it's fine if it's not like perfect, because like, you know, sometimes I think it's like gray. It's like it could be a JRPG, but yeah. Turn-based battle system is one it's a possible trait, but only possible. It doesn't have to be turn-based. Like, I would still consider they're still action-based JRPGs. Kingdom Hearts is a JRPG, yes. Yes. Strats, gear, and party. I don't know. Elden Ring is well, stats. It has stats, but that's, yeah. Xenoblade wouldn't qualify. Xenoblade does qualify because it has a leveling system. Xenoblade is 100% a JRPG. Oh my god. Okay, let me go. We're gonna have to be here. I'm excited. This is gonna be fun. I might play Elden Ring later, by the way. This probably won't take that long, but it might. I actually don't know. Whoa, what is that resolution? Oh. Oh. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so yeah, before we get started, look over my list for me. And see if there's any I missed that I've played. I don't think so. We have, they are not in order, by the way, which is kind of frustrating, but that's okay. Tales of Vesperia. It's probably because of the names of the files. I didn't change the names of the files. We have Tales of Vesperia. We have Final Fantasy VII. That's the original. Crisis Core, Pokemon Shield, Nier Automata, The Bouncer, Heavensward, Shadowbringers, Persona 5 Royal. I'm not including OG Persona 5. Kind of unnecessary. Tales of Berseria, Elden Ring, Symphonia, Rebirth, Nier Replicant, Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy X-2, Final Fantasy 6, Chain of Memories, Dragon Quest XI, Dawn Trail, Endwalker Realm. I am including each expansion separately. I thought about just doing Final Fantasy XIV, but honestly, each expansion is pretty much its own game. And yes, it is an MMO RPG, so it does count. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy 15, the 13 trilogies on here. Fire Emblem, Persona 3 Reload, Kingdom Hearts 2, Astral Chain, Final Fantasy 8, Octopath 2, 358 over 2, Lightning Return. Oh yeah. Final Fantasy 3, Xenogears, Persona 4 Golden, Pokemon Violet, Dark Souls, Sekiro. I am including Sekiro because apparently Elden Ring's a JRPG, so I'm gonna include Sekiro. Xenoblade 3, Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2. I wish these were in order. Final Fantasy 16, Stormblood, Pokemon Y, Birth by Sleep, Tales of Arise, Chrono Trigger, Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 1, and Final Fantasy X. Am I missing any?
I'm back.
Bo, thank you for their 69 months. Thank you. Are we counting Torna with Xenoblade? Yes, we're gonna count Torna. Yeah. I'm not gonna put the DLCs because then I'd have to put Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind on here and that just gets kind of murky. So I'm not gonna do that. It's just a little different for Final Fantasy XIV because genuinely each expansion is essentially like a new game. So have I played Chrono Cross? I have not. No, so I think I got everything. Also, I don't know what we should name these. Like if we should just keep them S, A, B, C, D. Keep it simple. Or if we should name them our own things. I don't know. I haven't decided, but Torna's gonna help base Xenoblade 2. It's just that good. While I do agree with you and I love Torna, I will say I still loved Xenoblade 2. Like without Torna. I honestly would say I feel exactly the same. Whether I were to rank it with or without Torna, I would feel exactly the same. Personally. That's how much I love Xenoblade 2. I do think Torna is amazing, but I still love 2. So it doesn't matter. I would say Astral Chain falls in line of other action RPGs like Kingdom Hearts. Are you trying to say Kingdom Hearts is not a JRPG? It's a JRPG, okay? It's fine. It counts. Trust me, it counts. It doesn't, it's okay. Yeah, it is action, but it's still a JRPG. I see the Bouncer. Yeah, I don't think the Bouncer is a JRPG, but I put it there. So I think I got everything, yeah? Before I start, I really want to order them, but I don't think I can. Oh, I can. I don't want to though. It's fine. We'll just leave it messy. But it looks good to you. Kingdom Hearts counts because it'll be fun for debate. Yeah, well, I remember one time, somebody was arguing with me that Kingdom Hearts was not a JRPG, and that's why I'm like, I feel like people are gonna get a little like, what's the word? People are gonna argue over the gray area, but at the end of the day, this is just for fun, and some of these that I included that are in the gray area, I want to rank them regardless. Well, it's because some people believe that a JRPG has to be turn-based. There are legitimately people out there who feel that way. They think that it's not a JRPG unless it's turn-based, which is not true. And matcha. Those are probably just like people who are kind of stuck in the past, I would say. No offense. Not to be rude, but... Okay, let me move this over here and this over here.
I'm back.
Or actually, I'll leave this here. Never mind. Oops. Should I change these or do we just leave it the classic S, A, B, C, D? What do you think? I don't know. I don't think I'd rank any of these in E except for maybe the bouncer. Okay, oh, that's one thing. I did include some games that I did not finish, but I played enough of them to rank them. The World Ends With You, I don't think I played enough of it to rank it. But Octopath 2 is one that I think I played enough to rank. I'm almost done with it. I still haven't finished it, but I'm close. And then, what was the other? There was another one on here that I put that I never finished. I think. But I played enough of it to rank it. But maybe it was just Octopath 2. I don't know. The World Ends With You F tier? No. From what I played, I put it pretty high. I put Fire Emblem Three Houses on here. I've played that. Yep. Even though I don't know if that is considered a JRPG. Because it's... Well, yeah, tactical can be JRPGs, right? Yeah, I did know Ray Chase voiced Master of Masters, yeah. Hi AFL, I'm good, how are you? I did play Rebirth. Yes. Loved it. It's on here. I know it's messy. Okay, so nobody has come up with any that I missed. Tales of Arise is on here, yes. So I think we can go ahead and get started. The only thing left to do is just to make sure that we have good rankings here. I kind of want to do like a double S tier. I think I need one of those. I don't know how you do it. How do you add another? I'm not good at this. Born to make history. Oh, here we go. Okay, so add row above. Okay, let's make it pink. No, not that one. Bro, what color was this? I messed up, man. Was it red? I don't know. I want this one to be pink and this one to be SS. Double S. So we have double S, S, A, B, C, D. Oh, sorry. I need to read alerts, by the way. I'm so sorry. Jay, thank you for the Prime sub. Blue Envious, thank you for the 29 months. Phil, thank you for the 69 months. Very nice. Thank you for the congrats on the amiibo video. Oh yeah, if you guys don't know, I have a new video on my YouTube that is like completely spoiler free and just like fun. I opened my amiibos if you want to check it out. You can type !point new video. Okay, so we have S, 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 A, B, C, and D. I don't think we need to go lower than D. I love JRPGs. I think it's fine. Always watch your YouTube content and I'm happy I've caught a stream. Oh, thank you, Randy. That's so kind. I really appreciate that. Meep, thank you for the 28 months, and Darlington, thank you for the 32 months. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Oh. Here. I actually don't know if that's gonna fit. Somebody write a long message. not like really long, just like long enough. I need to see if it cuts off. Thank you, Judgment. I'm actually it's gonna head back into the 174,000 territory real soon, guys. Every time I post a video, I lose like 20 subs. We're at like 175,004. So okay, it fits. We're good. Okay, cool. Thank you. Love to see a Final Fantasy IX remake for sure. I would love that. Oh, what category am I? I'm in the Elden Ring category. I'm so sorry. Just chatting. Oops. Oh my god. We're not playing Elden Ring. I'm so sorry. Well, we might play Elden Ring tonight, but I'm really addicted to it. I'm craving it. This is Elden Ring, true. This is going to be very difficult, I think. So, yeah, I forgot to change the title, or the game, I mean. Played all of Kingdom Hearts but barely any FF. Maybe I should... Yeah, well, maybe my tier list will help people decide what games to play. But at the same time, take them with a grain of salt because I have some hot takes, all right? I do have some hot takes, just a warning. Like, some of these tier rankings that I make might offend people a little. And that's okay. But yeah, like I almost put Bravely Default in the mix here, but I decided against it because I think I only played about half of it and I would rank it a D. And I think people would not like that. So I'm not going to do that. Anyway, do I like Final Fantasy XVI? You're about to find out. You're about to see my tastes in HD. I kind of feel like I need like one above double S. No, I think it's fine. I don't know. What do people normally do for tier lists? Like, is this normal? Double S, S, A, B, C, D? I think that's good, right? Peak tier. Oh, peak. Wait. Let's make double S peak instead. Peak. Yeah, let's do that. Perfect. Peak. Yeah. Or what we could do is we could put SS and then in parentheses peak. Okay. Peak tier. And okay, so normally when I make tier lists, like they're not in a specific order per tier, but I am gonna try to order them in a specific order per tier. So for example, my number 1 is going to be my favorite game of all time in that row, in the peak row. And this is gonna be really hard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually a little bit nervous about this. Need to play more JRPGs? I'm realizing that. I thought I had played a lot of JRPGs, but this list looks kind of small. I could have sworn I'd played more than this, but I haven't. I mean, I guess that is still a lot. Like when you think about how long a JRPG is, that's a lot of hours. But I could play more, 100%. Yeah. You probably might have forgotten. I was thinking I might have forgotten, but I can't think of any right now. Worst comes to worst, we can add more after. Is Chrono Trigger in there? Yes. Somewhere? Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's there. Bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the right. Genshin Impact is not a JRPG. No. First of all, it's Chinese. And second of all, it has RPG elements, but it's an online action-adventure game, I think. I did separate 14 by expansion. I had to. It would have been... it would have been like a cop-out for me to be like, yeah, it's peak. Okay, let's get started. So, starting with my favorite game of all time... And that would be Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, this right here, I know is a hot take for many, but this is in fact my favorite game of all time. So, from Soft is Japanese, it is, and therefore it is a JRPG. Yes. Live your truth. Yeah. So for me, it would go Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 1, and then Kingdom Hearts 2, which is somewhere. My mic is kind of in the way. Okay. Yeah, so this is how it would go for me. Kingdom Hearts is... I don't like to rank them. 1, 2, and 3 are pretty close to equal for me, but if I had to rank them, I would go 3, 1, 2. Which is definitely... a hot take, and I know it is, but it's just how I feel. This is kind of more story related than it is gameplay related. I obviously would agree Kingdom Hearts 2 is better gameplay than Kingdom Hearts 1. I know that. But story-wise, I would go 3, 1, 2. The reason I choose 3 as number 1 is because to me, it combines all of the good things about the series into one game. So that's why I love it. And also, yes, I am keeping in mind the DLC. The DLC to me is part of it. So yeah, for me, it goes 3, 1, 2. Next, and you are not going to believe this. Wow, what a surprise. That's crazy. Who would have thought? I know, this is a very surprising tier list so far. Xenoblade 3, peak. Absolute peak. This game is it is a masterpiece. I can't say anything bad about it. It is truly a masterpiece. I have genuinely no criticisms. Yeah, Xeno Peak 3, absolutely. All right, next up. This is where it gets a little murky for me. I think I'm just gonna stick with having all 3 Xenoblades to be safe. So for me, 1 and 2 are pretty much equal, but I'm just gonna go 1, 2, just because I lean just a little bit towards 1, and maybe that's just because it was my first time playing Xenoblade, but I love them both almost equally. I would say Xenoblade 2 is much better DLC than Xenoblade 1. Just keep in mind, it's almost equal for me. So, yeah. But I would go probably 3, 1, 2, yeah. Oh yeah, that's so weird! I go 3, 1, 2 for Kingdom Hearts as well. That's so odd. But at the end of the day, it's the same exact mindset. I like them all almost equally, so very interesting. Okay. Oh, I'm scared. What next? My heart is racing. I don't know why I'm getting so nervous about this. I mean, I can always shift them around, so maybe I should just start going in order. So, Tales of Vesperia, I'd give it a B. A solid B. Solid game. Good game. Not my favorite Tales game. Definitely not my favorite. But I like it. It has fantastic combat, but the story was mid. Sorry. It was, okay? It started good. The first 2 acts, fantastic, phenomenal. Loved it, was going in a great direction. The 3rd act was atrocious, and that is why I give it a B. If the 3rd act was good, I'd give it an S. But it's getting a B, because why? Why did you do the 3rd act like that? You ruined it. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm harsh on this game, though, because it did have so much potential to me. I loved Yuri. I loved his personality. I thought he was amazing. Some of the other characters are a little bit more forgettable for me as well, though. I think Yuri carries the game. And I think the combat is fantastic. But I think story-wise, 3rd act was mid. Yep. Anyway. Moving on. Sorry for the hot take. I know that's a lot of people's favorite. And I get it. The combat is great. But I can't. Yeah. And you know what? Let's go ahead and rank Tales of Symphonia while we're at it then. It's peak. Tales of Symphonia is peak. It is. For me, one of the best written JRPGs I've ever experienced in my life. The combat is a little outdated. However, the story is written so well that I would consider it peak. Yes, I would. Okay. I'm getting stressed out. Okay, however, I will say I would put this right before it. Or I might put other ones. I think, and also Endwalker, yeah. Oh my god, the peak is hard. I feel that a lot of games are peak, I'm not gonna lie. So there's gonna be a lot of games in the peak category. I'm gonna have to rearrange some of these, but yeah. Okay, next up. Oh, let's go ahead and put the Bouncer at D. I think I'm glad I played it. I have to say, I'm glad I played it. It was worth a play. Would I ever play it again? Absolutely the heck not. I would not play it again. That game is good for the memes. It had good potential. I think it was cool because it was like one of those like showing off PlayStation 2 graphics games. It was kind of like a test game, I think. For me, story was odd. Characters were odd. And I do like that the main character looks like a grown-up Sora, which is really funny. But I will just never forget the part where we had to like lead the I don't even know what her name was. There was like a love interest and she just stood there while we had to like guide her through a dungeon without her getting hit, and she just stood there, and I've never recovered from it. It was awful. Terrible. That is why I give it a D specifically. One of the worst dungeons I've ever done in my life. Okay. Moving on. This is really hard. I want to make everything peak. I can't do that though. We need to have some standards here, man. But this is ooh, okay, what do I do next? Okay, Dragon Quest XI. I'm gonna go ahead and this one is slightly unfair for me too. This is another game that I didn't finish. This one and Octopath 2. This is me being a little bit unfair because I did only complete Act 1 and Act 2. I don't know if Act 3 was in the original or if that was a definitive thing, but I was playing definitive. But I never did Act 3 because I got spoiled. I got completely spoiled on what happens in Act 3. And so this is slightly unfair. So I'm going to go a little easy on it, and I am going to give it a B. But like realistically, from what I've played, I probably would give it a C personally, just for my own taste. I think it's a really good game. I think that from a structure standpoint, I don't know how to use like good gaming words, but from the outside looking in, I would say it is kind of like a perfect JRPG. Like it has really, really amazing towns. It has the vibes. It's just a very nice JRPG. It's like a modern JRPG that feels like you're playing a classic JRPG, which I think is amazing. But the story for me didn't hit. It doesn't hit. Like some of the characters are really cool. I really like Sylvando. Protagonist, I just didn't really care about. Most of the characters to me were just kind of like, I didn't really fall in love with anyone except for Sylvando. So for that reason, I would give it a B. I just didn't emotionally connect with it, unfortunately. But I do need to do Act 3, so that could change. It could change, but for now, I'm giving it a B. Which isn't bad. A B is not bad. I still like the game, okay? I still like it. Okay, Xenogears, I'm gonna give an S. I'd like to say it was peak because it was very close to being peak, and I would still say it's peak. I'm still gonna say it, okay? But realistically, because I can't just put everything in the peak category, I am gonna put S, and that's just because it is outdated. That's the only reason. I think if they did a remake of this game, it would absolutely be peak, double S, 100%. But it's kind of outdated. That's all. I enjoyed my time with it. Love that game. So good. But it's a PS1 game. Believe it or not, I like Disc 2 more than Disc 1. But like, it still was kind of messy in that regard. I think there could have been a perfect balance. I think Disc 1 maybe had like too much exploration and maybe like just like too much going on. And then Disc 2 had like nothing going on except for some boss fights and stuff. And like a one or two dungeons or something. I don't know. But yeah. I don't know. I loved it though. It was amazing. It was like a brain chemistry changing game. I just think for me it's just a little outdated for me to put it as double S. Next up, let's go ahead and start doing the Final Fantasies. Okay. I think we should start doing that. Now this is going to be very hard for me. I will not lie. Once again, I want to put these all at peak, But we need to not do that. That would ruin the tier list. So, let's start with Final Fantasy III. That was my first Final Fantasy that I ever played on the DS. Loved it. But also it's not the best Final Fantasy. I did use my action replay on that game. I hacked so that I could have infinite healing because I was awful at it because I was a little kid trying to play a turn-based classic JRPG and it just didn't work. So for that, I would give it I'm gonna give it an A for the nostalgia. Anytime I hear Eternal Wind, I want to cry. I think my experience playing Final Fantasy III is what has shaped me as a person, and I think it made Shadowbringers very emotional for me, and for that, it's very special to me. So I think I'm going to give it an A. I'm probably not going to have it as number 1. I'm going to shift them around, but this is fun. Final Fantasy III is your least favorite? Oh, man. But Eternal Wind, though. Eternal Wind. It's perfection. Okay, let's go with Final Fantasy VI next. Final Fantasy VI, I loved. It was my... What did I play first? 6 or Chrono Trigger? 6, right? So 6 was my first SNES game ever. Besides the little bit of Donkey Kong I played with a friend for like 1 second in someone's basement. So it was my first SNES game. I didn't think I would like SNES games, but I did actually very much enjoy it. So I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I found it. Yeah, I would give it an A. I would give it an A. Because in comparison to the other Final Fantasies, I loved it, but it's not my favorite. So I would just, yeah. I think I'm going to give it an A. And I do think it's better than Final Fantasy III. So I'm going to move that. All right. Let's go with Final Fantasy VII now. OG 7. Oh God. I'm gonna give it an S. I'm gonna give it a double S. Peak. It's peak. Even it being old, I would still say it was peak. I don't know. I didn't play it until like 5 years ago. But it's actually what got me interested in turn-based games. So for that, I think it just needs to be up there because I was super stubborn with turn-based games until I actually sat down and played through Final Fantasy VII. So, kind of changed my brain chemistry. So, definitely going to give it peak. Okay, let's go ahead and remake and rebirth. Peak. I'd say they're peak. For me, at least. Where is Rebirth? I saw it earlier. Where? Am I crazy? There it is. My mic is in the way. Okay. This is probably the order I would do it, though. I would say for me, original Final Fantasy VII, then remake, then rebirth. But after the part 3 comes out, I might actually like all 3 of them more than the original, but we'll see. That's hard, though. I don't know, man. I really do like the remakes, so... Now... Oh, Crisis Core! Ah! Crisis Core, also known as Crap Core by the Clarith community. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, I I'm allowed to say that because never mind. I'm trolling. Don't take it seriously. So the Gungaga tier. Oh shoot, you're right. I think it's peak. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's peak. Okay, I do. I'm gonna put peak. That's gonna ruffle some feathers. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. Oh, okay. So let's go to Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII. I know exactly where I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this at S. Love it. Love it. I do. Close to peak. Laguna for me, #1 character in Final Fantasy VIII. Junction system took a little too long for me to understand, but I really love the unique vibes of the game. I think it's a very unique Final Fantasy. I think it's very underrated. So therefore I would give it an S. Yes. Okay. So far this is going exactly how you thought you would. Yeah, or how it would. Devil May Cry are not JRPGs. Otherwise, I would have included them, but I don't think they are. That would have definitely, like, people would have argued about that. I don't think so. Paper Mario, I was gonna put it on here, but I don't think I played enough of it. Yeah. I would put 8 and 10 above 7 on your list. Valid. DMC is character. Yeah, it's an action game. I think it's not a JRPG because there's no leveling system. Something like that. That's really what it comes down to. All right, next Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy IX. I know where I'm gonna put it. I am gonna put it in S. I am gonna put it before 8 though. I would give it an S because I really like it. I think it's beautiful. I don't know. Nothing more to say about it. It's not like I wouldn't say it's my favorite game. I wouldn't be like, I don't know how to explain it. I'd be like, yeah, that game's amazing. I love it. I would definitely say that, but I wouldn't be like, heck yeah, that was peak. You know what I mean? It's kind of peak, but it's not peak enough for me to put it at peak. But I really loved it. I very much loved it. It for me, it's like the most well-rounded Final Fantasy game. But yeah. I think I'm more drawn to games with like really high highs and kind of like, sometimes they have low lows, but I like high highs. Like, I feel like Final Fantasy IX is very like well balanced, which is a good thing, but it is peak, but it's not like, for me, it's not as peak as the games I'm putting in peak. Because once again, I can't just put everything in peak. And like, honestly, if I could, I would. But then what's the point of doing a tier list? So anyway, oh man, what's next? Final Fantasy X. Speaking of Final Fantasy X, my background music right now is Final Fantasy X. This one is gonna cause some controversy, but I mean, it's not that bad. I'm not gonna, I don't think you're gonna be that mad at me, but maybe a little bit. Where is it? Why don't I see it? Hello? Here we go. It's the last one. Yeah. I'd give it an S. It's very good. Top tier. I would say the ending is peak for sure. I would say a couple of the cutscenes at the end are definitely peak, but for me the overall game is an S. Yeah. You put 10 over 7, that's crazy. You mean under 7? Yeah, I do. I do put 7 over 10. Yeah. I do. Mm-hmm. How can we be mad? Acha! Hey, nice flex! I've talked about this so many times. Everybody knows my experience with Final Fantasy X at this point. I think that in another timeline, I probably would have ranked this as peak. I think I would have as double S peak. If I had played it as a child, I think I would have ranked this as peak. I really do. But I think, unfortunately, Final Fantasy X was the first Final Fantasy game that I streamed besides 15, like the first turn-based Final Fantasy game that I streamed. And I think it just happened to be the game that had to take the hit, where my first playthrough, I wasn't fully paying attention because I was afraid of people missing my messages in chat because I was a baby streamer and I was afraid people get mad at me. And also a really big cutscene got spoiled for me. Those two things kind of put a bad taste in my mouth with the game. I did go ahead and replay it and I had a much better experience. But even after my replay, reflecting back, I would still just give it an S. Just because for me, I think Yuna is a very boring character. And I think that... I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be harsh. It's just that I feel like she should have had more personality. And that's not her fault. It is, in fact, the developer's fault. I just think she could have had more personality. That's all. I think back then, a lot of female characters were written to be very, like, submissive and a little bit, like, you know, like, I just kind of wish she would have, like, had a little more character development. That's all I'm saying. And I'm sorry. I know this is probably controversial. Don't get me wrong. I love her. I think she is a beautiful lady, and I think she's a sweet pea, but I just think she could have had more character development, and yeah. That's how I feel, at least. You know, when are you going to do something, girl? Now, the dancing scene, like the summoning scene, or I don't know what you'd call it, like where she's dancing on the water. 10 out of 10, gorgeous. Love that. We love that. But for the most part, for 90% of the game, I kept asking myself, Yuna, when are you gonna do something? Okay, sorry. That's just how I feel. It's a product of the times, okay? I think we have gotten a lot more interesting female characters in games in the present, but that's just how I feel. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I still love her. She's a beautiful lady, and she's very sweet. Yeah. At least Final Fantasy X has memes true. Okay, for me, the laughing cutscene alone could make the game peak. I freaking love that cutscene. Beautiful, sweet, and a little simple, which is fine. I mean, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I think the issue I have is that she's supposed to be one of the main characters. Like, obviously, Tidus is the main character, but Yuna is supposed to be a very important character. And so, for me personally, I think there should be more development for a character that is supposed to be that important. But okay. Anyway, let's see. And again, that's just my opinion. Like, it's okay to disagree. It's fine. I know that's a hot take. I know it's a hot take. I know that I am probably in the wrong here. It's just how I felt. It's just how I felt when I played it. It's exactly the reason why I stopped playing Bravely Default. The protagonist, Agnes, is a very similar character to Yuna. And I just don't really care for characters like that. I don't resonate with them. So, yeah. Is it Agnes? I think it was Agnes. Yeah, I had to stop playing. I'm like, girl was a stick in the mud, okay? She was a stick in the mud. She's worse than Yuna, like way worse. Like, at least Yuna is like really likable. Agnes was not likable. Madeline, thank you for the 26 months. I will literally agree with you agree with my hot takes? Yay! I'm glad some people do. I'm glad I'm not alone. Twitter is going to hate you for putting Xenoblade 2 and 3 in peak tier? I think a lot of people would agree 3 is peak, no? I never had the impression that Agnes was the protagonist. Okay, maybe not the okay, so this is like a really common JRPG trope, right? So a lot of times the protagonist is a male character in like older JRPGs, and then there's always like an important female character with like a really intense magical power who's gonna save the world. That is like one of the most common tropes in a video game or in like a classic JRPG, and that is exactly what both Final Fantasy X and Bravely Default are. It's that same same exact formula, and for me that gets old. It gets old. Okay. Unless it depends how it's done. It just depends. It depends how it's done. Xenoblade is peak. Xenoblade is culture. All three Xenoblades are peak to me. Yeah. Oh yeah, Ring a Bell was awful. Oh my god. Oh, Ring a Bell. Ah! I hate Ring a Bell. That's the problem. I pretty much only liked one character in Bravely Default, so I was like, why am I even playing this? I only liked what was her name? The blonde girl. I can't remember her name. Adea! Yes, Adea carries Bravely Default. She's wonderful. I love her. But yeah, Ring a Bell sucks. Ew. Forgot his name. That's why I didn't even bring him up. Not very memorable. Bro was a creep. You do hear Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, that's a cover. Okay. Sorry. I I feel anxious because I'm like, oh my god, these are some really hot takes. I'm sorry. I'm gonna move on now. Okay, so Final Fantasy X too. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a C. I'd give it a C because man, that game is that it's a game. Final Fantasy X-2 is a game. I actually love Yuna's character development in this game. I actually really enjoyed seeing Yuna come out of her shell in this game. It was very pleasant. That's one of my favorite parts of the game. I loved the girl group vibes. I love the girl power, girly pop. I love that. I love it. However, the combat, not my thing. I mean, people really like the combat. For me, not my favorite though. And then the brother is one of the worst characters to ever exist in Final Fantasy. I need them to come out with a mod to mod him out of the game. Like, literally ruins the game. Why are you there? Why? Brother is awful. He is a terrible, terrible, terrible character, and I hate him. So anyway, that sucked. Bro's just there on the ship all the time, bothering me. Like, get off the ship. Go do something else. We don't need you. He wasn't even really that helpful. He was so creepy. He was so weird. He was like hitting on the girls all the time. Ew. Yeah, I would have loved to toss him overboard. I wish that was like an option. But anyway, brother sucks. He's a creep. That alone, really, I could put a D tier because of brother, but I won't do that. But for me, the game was fun. I loved my experience with it. I can't put it at D because, like, even though I don't think it's really a good game, like, I think objectively it's not a very good game. The story was so weird. It got weird, man. But I just had a good time. Like, I had fun. I really did. I had fun. I don't think it's that great of a game, but I think it's fun. It's pretty much just a bunch of reused assets from Final Fantasy X with like a girl group story and a really good song. What was it? Like 1,000 words? Yeah. I love me some girl power, okay? Turn Xanarkin into a tourist trap! Oh, that's another thing about Final Fantasy X though. The music, magnificent. To Xanarkin is one of my favorite Final Fantasy tracks of all time. Like, it's just, you cannot deny how gorgeous that song is. Oh my god. I will cry. That song is beautiful. Like, for real. Okay, moving on. This is so stressful. Okay, Tales of Berseria. All right, let's go there. Let's go there. All right, I'd give it an A. I'd give it an A. Yeah. Well. Ooh, A or B? I don't know, actually. You know what? No, I actually am going to give it a B. That's unfair to Tales of Vesperia. That's unfair. I think story-wise, I enjoyed it more than Vesperia. Just because it was like more coherent. I don't know, man. The ending was weird. Oh yeah, I'll go back to Final Fantasy. Okay, my brain's all over the place. I'm sorry. It's, well, to be fair, my list is all over the place, so it's like kind of, yeah. Too many skits, true. And okay, let me tell you something. Streaming a Tales game is so stressful. God forbid you don't feel like watching a skit. God forbid. Like, end of the world, man. And some of them have too many skits. And it's like, guys, please. I need to breathe. It's hard to stream a Tales game sometimes. I love the skits, but like, sometimes it's like I'm trying to do something and it'll be like, skit. I'm like, no. And then like there's like 5 people in the chat who are like, skit. Ah! And I get it. They like the skits. They're cute. They are cute, but sometimes it's like I gotta breathe. It's hard to breathe. Anyway, yeah, they are really interruptive. I think the nice thing about Tales of Arise is I think they made it so that if you miss one, you could go back and watch it. I think the reason why people want you to watch all of the skits in the past Tales games is because you can't rewatch some of them, or like most of them. I think that's why. I get it, but it's like, oh, I just want to play the game. And to be honest, like I do enjoy the skits, but I don't think there is a single skit that like I feel like I needed to watch. Maybe that's a hot take. That's probably a hot take, but it's not really why I like the games. It's not for the skits. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Final Fantasy XIII, the entire trilogy. Okay. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, I know where I'm putting it. Okay. This is the original, right? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know it's a hot take. I know a lot of you would put that in the D category. I am a Final Fantasy XIII apologist. I am a Final Fantasy XIII simp. I will stand up for this game forever. I love this game. I think Final Fantasy XIII is wonderful. I think that Lightning is a breath of fresh air. I think she is so much more than just a female Cloud. I absolutely hate when people say that. I cannot stand it. They have so many differences. And it's like so many JRPGs have similar personality like protagonists, and for some reason they just love calling Lightning a female Cloud to kind of like undermine her, and I hate that. She is a wonderful, strong lady, okay? And I love seeing female representation like that personally. Okay, so Babs, thank you for the sub. Enjoy your emotes. Thank you. It makes me feel powerful and like I could be cool. You know what I mean? I like it. I like her a lot. Anyway, so yeah, I like Final Fantasy XIII. Is it very linear? Absolutely. But guess what's also linear? Final Fantasy X. Okay. It's very similar. They are both hallway simulators. Now, Final Fantasy XIII is newer, so I do agree that it has less of an excuse. Final Fantasy X at the time, you know, they're working with what they can. Valid. Totally valid. But if you like Final Fantasy X and you don't like 13 because it's a hallway simulator, I hate to tell you this, but they're both hallway simulators. And that's okay. I do think Final Fantasy X does do a better job, though, at making the areas feel more lively. I do agree with that. I think a lot of times people criticize 13 for like not having any NPCs and it just doesn't feel very lively. I understand that. That's valid. I do think it makes sense though for like the apocalyptic futuristic vibe that they were going for, but perhaps that is kind of like a cop out, right? And so I get that. I do get that, and I understand where people are coming from. But for me, Final Fantasy XIII is amazing. I think the story was beautiful. I loved the music. I think the paradigm system was unique. And while it may not be like the best combat in the series, I think that it walked so Final Fantasy VII Remake Rebirth could run. It really did. They took a lot of inspiration from Final Fantasy XIII's combat system. And anyone who disagrees has never played Final Fantasy XIII. So, yeah. I love 13. And the ending is probably my favorite Final Fantasy ending of all time. Like, 10 out of 10 ending. Oh my god. Leona Lewis? Who would have thought that I would enjoy a Leona Lewis song? God, I cried so hard! I want to replay 13 just so I can watch that ending and cry. Oh, that ending is gorgeous. Like, Fang and Vanille, I love them. Oh, such a good ship. Like, just, love it. My hand smacks. No, it does. It's so good. It's so good. Listen, if you've never played 13 like solely for the reason that people say it sucks, I would recommend giving it a try. I think it's worth it to create your own opinion on it, because I think there is an echo chamber when it comes to Final Fantasy 13. When I played it, I actually started playing it when I was 16. I got my PS3 and I started playing it, and I couldn't get very far, but not because I didn't like it. I think it was just because I sucked. But I replayed it as an adult, and I beat it, and I played the whole trilogy, and we'll get to that in a second. But I think it's special. I do. I think there's a reason why it was so heavily promoted at the time. I think there's a reason why there were so many collabs. I think it was more positively received in Japan. For some reason, I feel like not here. But I loved it. So I will say that replayability for it for me is not very high though. That's like one negative. Thinking about replaying it is a little exhausting. Because it is actually quite hard. It is very difficult. And it's very long. And it just feels a little exhausting to think about replaying it. So I don't think I would replay it until like a long time, but I occasionally go and watch the ending. Like if I'm PMSing and I need a good cry, I'll go watch that ending. It's so good. Oh my god. I do the same thing with Xenoblade 3, Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, let me just watch some video game endings. I need a good cry. The graphics of 13 are so good. They really are. But no, I totally get why people don't like 13. I do. I just think that it's important for people to form their own opinions and maybe try it out if they're interested. Yeah, that's all. The criticisms are valid. They are. But sometimes I just see people in the community criticizing a game, and it seems hypocritical because like another game has that same thing and that game is praised. Like I just see that and it's like, I don't know. I get a little defensive over 13 because I loved it. Lightning Returns, on the other hand, it's a C. It's a C. It's a C for me. I am a firm believer that Final Fantasy XIII probably should have stopped. I don't think it should have had sequels. So, yeah. That's 13 too? What did I say? Wrong picture? No, I meant 13 too. Lightning Return. No, this is 13. I meant 13 too. I said Lightning Returns? Oh, I love Lightning Returns. Why did I say 13 too? I'm sorry. 13 too, I give a C. I'm so confused right now. Why did I say Lightning Returns? Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. I hated 13 too. I also hated 13 too. Okay, not hate. Hate is such a strong word. I didn't hate it. I hated some things about it. When I beat Final Fantasy 13, do you know how many people told me 13-2 was better? A lot. A lot of people told me, oh, 13-2 is better. And I've really come to the realization that some people value combat over story. And I don't. Story over combat any day. This tier list is very story focused. And for me, I am including combat in here in some ways, but for me, I am a story girl. And 13-2 story, I hated it. I really didn't like the story. Combat wise, it was pretty good. It was basically 13, but yeah, well, the thing is, I actually do prefer 13's combat, but I understand why people prefer 13-2's combat. The pet system or whatever was kind of cool. I don't like Noel, first of all. And like, I know a lot of people don't like Snow. He's definitely not the best, but I really don't like Noel. Wasn't a fan. Don't know why. I love Sarah. I wish my name was spelled like that. I love Sarah, but Noel was kind of annoying. I just don't like the abrupt push to ship Sarah with somebody else. Like, I'd rather us just like not ship anybody with her. Because like, yeah, Snow does kind of suck. Like, I get it. But can she just like, does she need to have like a romantic interest? Like, no, I don't think she does. It feels weird. It feels forced. It's annoying. And then of course, for me, the reason why this game is a C though is specifically because the ending is the worst ending of any game I've ever played in my entire life. Yeah. No, like, I'm being so serious. Awful. Terrible ending. Bad. I'm passionate about this. I could have ranked it higher if the ending wasn't so awful. You want to know what the ending was? The ending was a setup for Lightning Returns. That's all it was. And like, I understand games like kind of leading into another game, like that makes sense. But this literally did not feel like an ending. It was like, it felt like the end. It felt like a mid-season finale of an anime. That's what it felt like. So mid. Terrible. Yeah, I hated it. I'll never forget like how mad I was after that ending. But it was so much more than just a cliffhanger. It was bad. But overall, the game's not bad. I have to say, it's really not. Like, it's enjoyable. I'm glad I played it. I would not play it again. It has zero replayability for me. But it was okay. Like, it's an okay game. It's an okay successor. I don't think 13 needed to have sequels. But I will say Lightning Returns did redeem 13-2 for me. It's still not my favorite game. I'd still put it in the B category somewhere, maybe like right here. But it's still not my favorite. I still don't think it was necessary. Caius was pretty cool. That's true. I did like Caius. I think Caius carries 13-2 and Sarah. Yeah. Lightning Returns. A lot of people don't like the time system. I love the time system. I love it. I love scheduling my day. This is why I love Stardew Valley. Like, I want to schedule my day. I have a great time with that. I think it's fun. I'm like, okay, so I can do this right now and then this later. And then I think it's fun. I enjoyed it. Some people don't like that. I get that, but I loved it. So I really like the time management aspect of Lightning Returns because I'm weird. And the ending made up for the ending of 13-2 for me. It was a very beautiful ending. It was gorgeous. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for the Zelda Marathon. I've heard I would like Majora's Mask. That's exciting. Okay, next up, we have Final Fantasy XIV expansions. Ooh, I already ranked some of them. So Shadowbringers and Endwalker are my two favorites. Shadowbringers is my all-time favorite. Endwalker is a close-ish second, I would say. However, I would rank A Realm Reborn at B. Yeah, I'd rank it a B. I still enjoyed it. I think it's cozy. I wouldn't rank it lower just because, like, it's an MMO. And I really have to think about it like that. For an MMO, it's pretty good. And I think like looking back on it after playing through the newer expansions, it definitely deserves more love. But it does make it very hard for people to get into the game because it is a slog. So it's getting a B. Now, Heavensward. I have to be honest, I'd give it an A. Oop. Yeah. Almost S. Almost. The patch is very good. Oh, did I even put Stormblood on here? I think I did. It should be there. For me, Heavensward is really a step in the right direction. It's great, but it still has too much Oldest English for me. The Old English... I have a hard time with that. I get bored. It felt like everybody was speaking like Urianger. And I love Urianger, but let's stick to keeping that to Urianger. I found it to still be boring, to be honest. Like, when I played through A Realm Reborn, a lot of people would tell me, like, oh, don't worry. When you get to Heavensward, the story gets so much better. You're going to love Heavensward. And I think I had pretty high expectations for it because of that. Too high. My expectations were set way too high. I start Heavensward. I'm like, this is still quite boring to me. And I just felt a little... It felt like a slog to me. And I felt a little disheartened. I was like, maybe it's just not for me. Maybe the 14th story is never going to be for me. But boy, I was so wrong. I was so wrong because once I got to Shadowbringer's life-changing peak, Heavensward is still very good. Like, I loved it in some ways, and I really did get into it towards the end, and then the patches. So I really started getting into the Final Fantasy XIV story with like the Lady Iceheart stuff. That was peak. That was so good. And then the patches. I really enjoyed the patches as well. So yeah. But like the beginning of Heavensward to me is just still so incredibly slow. So I would give it an A. It's very good. The music, oh my god. I listen to the Heavensward theme all the time because it's just gorgeous. Okay. No one forgets the vault. True. True. Oh god, it's so good. Yeah. That's true. Though I will say I didn't emotionally connect with Horsefont, unfortunately. I don't know why. I didn't emotionally connect in 14 until the end of Heavensward. I don't know what happened. My brain just like clicked. Okay. Stormblood, where are you? Okay. Stormblood. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna give it a B. We're gonna give it a B. I love it. I don't have any really big criticisms towards Stormblood. It's just, to me, nothing also really stands out about it for me to put it high. So I would just give it a B. Like, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was, I have very fond memories of Stormblood. I think, so I took a huge break from 14 because I was getting a little burnt out because it just wasn't hitting like I thought it would. Like people had explained it to be. And then I just was like, you know what? I want to get caught up. I want to see what this is all about. And so I was at the end of Heavensward and something clicked in my head and I had to keep going. And I binged the game. Like, I binged it. From the end of Heavensward to where the game currently was, which was Shadowbringer's patches, I binged the whole thing. And so I have very fond memories. Sorry. I have very fond memories of playing Stormblood. So I haven't played Scarlet Nexus yet, no. Yeah. Oh, Shadowbringers is just so peak. Oh my god. Next up we have Dawn Trail, of course. Yeah, so I would give it an A. I like it a little bit more than Heavensward. I loved it. It was like a little summer vacation. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. I didn't really have a problem with it. A lot of people didn't like it. I love Wook Lamont. I loved my little summer vacation. I thought it was good. Yeah. Do I think it's as good as Endwalker or Shadowbringers? No, I don't. but I still really enjoyed it. No, Bayonetta doesn't count. I'm more interested in what comes in. Yeah, I'm excited for the patches. Yeah, same. Me too. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and do Nier. I think they're both peak. I like Replicant just a little bit more than Automata. Yeah. Just like a little bit. I would put them as both peak. I freaking love Nier. I think Nier is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, they're both really good. Okay. I've been avoiding the Kingdom Hearts handheld games. And I'm gonna rank them by their handheld self. So like Chain of Memories, we're ranking it handheld. Dream Drop, handheld. Because I would just prefer to do that. I think they're better on handheld anyway. So what about 15 and 16? True. I'm just all over the place. Okay. Final Fantasy 15. Sure, let's do that. Final Fantasy 15. Oh man. Yeah, it's been a while since I've played it. It really was kind of my first Final Fantasy. Aside from 3 on the DS, it was kind of my first, essentially. And yeah, I played a little 13 previously, but it was like the first Final Fantasy I ever beat, which is a little embarrassing to admit. But I personally really loved it. I actually did not have a problem with it when I played it. I didn't know that it was heavily criticized until like after I beat it. I didn't know. So I have pretty fond memories of it. I think Luna Freya was kind of uninteresting. I think that whole thing was kind of weird. Looking back and hearing the criticism, like I totally get it. And I think there was that one chapter, I think it was chapter 13, I didn't like. But other than that, I really like 15. I don't know. I think I would put it at S, actually. I think either A or S. I actually don't really know. If it was A, I'd put it pretty high. It's either top of A or end of S. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna actually put A only because even though I loved it, I can't really remember it that well. I think I'd be able to remember it better. I love the ending. I know like the ending for me was so good. I love the ending. I cried so hard. But other than that, I can't really remember that much. I liked cooking. Yeah, I'll put it at the top of A. Yeah. All right. Final Fantasy 16. Oh. Yeah, so like I think this is peak. I'm not even gonna lie. I really do. Maybe it's because I am a fan of like Yoshi P's work. I don't know. I thought it was really good. I don't think like I think the side quests I could have done without doing them, except for like the ones at the end. But other than that, like I loved the story. I don't know. I loved it. I thought it was a very thoughtful game. Like I feel like it had so much like emotional maturity. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I understand a lot of people don't care for the combat because it is quite easy, and that's so valid. It is. But for me it was still fun. Like it was satisfying combat. So I think it made up for the fact that it was pretty easy. I don't know. I really love the story. I love Torgal. I love Jill and Clive. Oh my god, they are so freaking cute. I love it. So and yeah, Soken popped off for sure. Yeah. Oh, I love 16. That like I almost let people gaslight me into thinking like maybe it's not as good as I thought it was, but I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that because I loved it. Yeah, the ending was, yeah, that's true, but I liked the ending, but yeah, I don't know. I know what you mean. What's next? Okay, now we can do the handhelds for Kingdom Hearts. So for me, 358/2 is an S. I don't really have an explanation for that. Birth by Sleep, S. Almost peak. Actually, I would put this like here. Almost peak. But the platinum maybe tainted my view on it a little bit. I played too much Birth by Sleep, guys. Okay. Chain of Memories, A. Actually, S. Especially Game Boy Advance version. Especially. Okay. Oh, Dream Drop. Dream Drop is in fact an A. It's an A. Yeah. I don't really have explanations for these. I'm going off of my vibes. What's the huh? Yeah, 358/2 story is just so good that I put it pretty high. I know. Chain of Memories is a good story too. 10-2 is so low. But C is not even bad. Okay, it's not bad. The thing is, and I mean this like from the bottom of my heart, every single game on this list I enjoyed in some way other than the bouncer. And I'm being so serious. DDD goes off the rails by the end. It's a little weird. It's a weird one. I still enjoyed it though. I have very fond memories of playing on my 3DS and taking photos with my Dream Eaters. So yeah. Okay. Next up we have let's go with Astral Chain. This one's pretty easy for me to rank. I would give it a B. I'd give it a B. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a good game. I don't remember it that well, so for that, I have to give it a B. It's not very memorable. The only thing I really do remember is, like, there was a silent protagonist. Combat was pretty fun. And I remember there was a toilet fairy for some reason. Why is the bouncer even here for the memes? To be quite honest. I did discuss this earlier. Okay. Where's Recoded? I'm not including that. Anyway. Elden Ring is peak. We all know it. Come on, it's peak. I feel like everybody would agree. It's peak. Easy. Easy peak. Where's 358/2? It's right. It's right here. I just did that one. Have you not played? Oh, Dragon Quest XI is on here. Right here. I didn't do Act 3 though. So take it with a grain of salt. Okay, I'm having fun with this. I've never played Bloodborne. I started it, but I haven't played much. I kind of want to play it for October, like a Halloween game. I think that'd be fun. Might as well do Dark Souls and Sekiro now. So Dark Souls 3 I've played, and Sekiro. Those are the other From Software games I've completed. Dark Souls 3 I would give an S. Sekiro I would give a peak. It's peak. Yeah. Yep. I would have honestly said Dark Souls 3 was peak if I hadn't played Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring sets the bar pretty high. I did get spoiled from the Dragon Quest XI ending, but I would actually like to finish it at some point. The only thing that sucks is that it's been so long since I've played that I might not fully remember the story. But I do remember what the spoiler is, so I know that. It's a yeah, My double S peak tier is very high, but that's because I really love JRPGs. So, I mean, if I could, I'd put most of these games at peak and then just like rank them. But we can't do that. That would ruin the entire point of doing a tier list. Yeah, Dark Souls 3 is very good. I really liked it. I need to play 1. It's hard to go to 1 after playing 3 first. I've tried. Okay. Let us do Pokemon now. So I'm not a big Pokemon person. For like, just to be clear, I'm not like super into it. I used to really like the anime when I was a kid. I was way more into the anime than I was the games. And so I have played a few, obviously, on this list. I forgot to put Pokemon Let's Go Eevee on here. I meant to do that. But that's okay. I feel like, I don't know if that's really a JRPG. Because it's like you throw the Pokeball. That is actually my favorite one, though. I actually really loved Let's Go Eevee. I thought it was so fun. Yeah, my sister was into the Pokemon games. I've enjoyed the ones that I've played, though. So I played Pokemon Y when I was a teenager. I liked it. I don't know. I don't know if I loved it. I liked it. I'd give it a B. Pokemon Shield, I'd give it a B. And also Violet, I'd give it a B. God, I'm sorry. I mean, B is not bad, okay? To be clear, it's not bad. I'd probably give all 3 of them a B, though. In terms of my interest, I actually, believe it or not, liked Violet. Actually, yeah, no, I liked Violet the most of these 3. I would give Let's Go Eevee an A. That's my favorite. I would honestly rank Pokemon Violet higher if the game didn't launch in a way that was so glitchy. I just think that it was unacceptable for a game that is, I believe, the most popular franchise of Nintendo, or at least one of the most popular. For them to launch a game so messy when you have games like Xenoblade 3, I think was unacceptable. So even though the game was fun and the glitches like didn't ruin the game, I feel like the graphics were just so bad. Like, they are really bad. And we know that they could be better because we've seen games like Xenoblade 3. So I just think it's unacceptable. It's greedy. They could have worked a little harder. And they probably were overworking their employees, let's be real, to try and get that game out. So, not a fan of that. Otherwise, I would probably have ranked it higher because I actually did enjoy my playthrough of it. I thought it was fun. Violet is my fave. You've played, but I'm surprised you haven't played any Gen 4 or 5. Yeah, no. My first was Y. Like, technically, I've played the ones for, like, Game Boy Color, because my sister had those, but I never, like, I was so little that I couldn't get into it. I think that's really what it was, is I think Pokemon games came out around a time when, like, I was not sentient enough to be able to play them properly. And then obviously I could have jumped in at another game, but I just didn't until Pokemon Y, so. Yeah, but my sister was into it. Like, I think she had Pokemon Yellow. I think that was like her thing. Was it Yellow? I don't remember. I don't even know. So anyway, Chrono Trigger. Ooh, S tier. S. It was pretty peak. But the reason that I would put it at S is mostly because it was a little confusing. Not the story. For me, I loved the story. The story was pretty peak. Ending made me sob. Beautiful, gorgeous, great game. And I would put it pretty high up on S tier. The only thing was how confused I got about the side content. I found it a little confusing. I respect it because it's an older game, but I don't know. It was a little confusing for me. And it's close. It's close to peak. I think I just, I think it was a little dumb for it. Like, you could go to the final boss without being prepared at all. And I guess that's like a creative choice. But no, I haven't played Chrono Cross. Yeah, I think I ended up going to like the final boss, but like there was just no way. Because I didn't know that there's so much side content that you have to do that's not part of the main story. I'm the type of person, and this is very this is very particular to me. I like games that hold my hand a little bit more, and I know that's like, sorry. I like a little bit of a more linear experience. Whenever a game is kind of just like figure it out, I get a little overwhelmed. So yeah, I don't know, but Chrono Trigger was amazing. It was amazing. It was one of those games that does change your brain chemistry. Story was great, music was great, combat was fun, challenging, loved it. But yeah, I just can't put it all the way at peak just because I did kind of get frustrated with it a little bit. Yeah. Fire. Oh god. Guys, I didn't like this game that much. Let me talk this out a little bit because I don't know where to put it. I liked, it was my first tactical game, okay? I did enjoy that part of the game actually. I actually did enjoy the combat. I thought it was pretty fun. I felt like it could get a little tedious sometimes, like having to just like constantly go into battle, and sometimes I'd feel like exhausted and I'd be like, I don't feel like doing that. Especially when they were like the ones that were not mandatory but you felt like you had to do them. Oh my god. So that was just a little overwhelming for me, I think, because I was new to tactical games, but I did enjoy it. And now I would say that I am interested in playing other tactical games. For me, the story was kind of mid. And maybe it's because I chose the Golden Deer route. I enjoyed the characters, and I did enjoy getting to know them. And I would say I really enjoyed the second act of the game, if that makes sense. I don't want to spoil anything. I definitely liked the second part a lot more. But the story just, I didn't connect with it emotionally. I don't even think I cried, and I cry pretty easily. So I don't know. It just, yeah, I think it was just a little slow for me. I think the story was just not what I typically enjoy in a video game. No, I didn't play all three routes. I heard I would like the Blue Lions, so I maybe someday I will move this up in the tier list if I play the others. But yeah, for me, I wish the story was better, that's all. The characters were really cool though. I enjoyed getting to know them, but it was also overwhelming because there were so many. But it was good. I still like it. I'd give it a C. I'd give it a C. I don't know, man. I wish I liked it more, because it's like, it sucks because I wanted to love it. I think that how I wanted to feel about Fire Emblem Three Houses is how I'm going to feel about Metaphor, because I prefer that combat and I prefer like that kind of storytelling, like Persona. So, but with like that like vibe of Fire Emblem. So I'm really excited for Metaphor. You wouldn't cry in Golden Deer, true. Yeah, maybe I should just play the other routes. It's just, I think the issue is just that that's a time commitment. Claude in the second half, took a lot of screenshots of him. Nice guy. Love that guy. Okay. Personas, Octopath 2, and Tales of Arise is all that's left. Time commitments, why I didn't play P5R? Oh man, it's so worth it though. I played P5 Vanilla and Royal. It's so worth it, I promise. I love Persona. Okay, when I played through the original Persona 5, and that's why I'm not even going to put it on this list, I was so new to Persona, and I would say even pretty new to like JRPGs in general, other than like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy. And for me, it was overwhelming. I don't think P5R, or at the time P5, is a good starting point for a Persona. I really don't. I think there's a lot to do. And being in Tokyo is overwhelming. And I didn't really understand like the confidant system. I didn't get it. Sometimes I would just go to bed without doing anything because I wanted to like experience the main story. And it took me about a year to complete it because I was so overwhelmed by it. But then I played Persona 4. And Persona 4 changed my entire perspective on Persona games. And it taught me the value of taking your time, even though, okay, I know that Persona 5's theme is take your time. That is true. But for some reason, I did not really feel that until I played Persona 4. And I started to understand the enjoyment of playing a Persona game and taking your time with it and getting to know the characters and feeling almost like you know them. Like almost like you really, because Persona games are so long and you have so many like social links / confidants, I think that you like I would say Persona games are when I have felt the most connected to a friend group other than like Kingdom Hearts. Like, man, finishing a Persona game, whether the ending is happy or sad, is so emotional because it's like you feel like you're losing friends. Like it's a lot. So yeah, I really love Persona games. But anyway, I went back to P5R. I played P5R after playing P4G, and I had such a newfound appreciation for Persona games, and I was craving Persona, and I loved it. I loved P5R. I think the replay was even better. So yeah, I would say for me, P5R is, it's either here or here. You know what? Okay, P5R is peak. P5 vanilla is S. Yeah. Final answer. I just finished. Okay, no, let's do P4 actually. We'll get to P3 in a second. P4G. So I would rank this one pretty high if it wasn't so problematic. Sorry. Take out some of the parts of P4G and I would rank it like peak. But because it was problematic, I'm gonna give it an A. But I loved it. The bouncer ranked D. Hi, Toph. Yeah, I really would rank P4G as peak if it didn't have so much like yucky scenes that made me feel very unsettled and almost made me want to stop playing. So what's so problematic about it? There's homophobia, there's fat phobia, there's a social link with an adult character trying to pursue you, a student who's in high school. Very uncomfortable stuff in P4G for me. I almost had to stop playing it. Now, if they didn't have that stuff, it would be very good. Because you get very connected to the characters. The vibes of the small town are amazing. I love like the murder mystery vibes, like Scooby-Doo. Like I love all of that. But I'm not a fan of some of the scenes. Yeah, not a fan. The camping scene, like just, yeah, not good. Don't recommend. But I still loved the game. It was very good. Just skip the camping. Skip it. Trust me. Yeah, I didn't know it would have stuff like that, but I remember streaming it and feeling very uncomfortable. So yeah, the music is really good. Yeah, I absolutely hate the nurse in P4. Everyone knows that about me. I I hate the nurse in P4. It's one thing about Persona that I've always disliked, even like the newer Personas. I just don't think that the character you control should be in high school if there's going to be adults that you can. I just don't like it. I don't know. That's just me. I just find it weird. It's unsettling. But it's especially weird whenever it's like, when it's like not your choice to opt in. Like that's when it's like, that's like especially, I think it's weird regardless, personally. But I don't know. It's a whole thing. I just don't like it, but it gets better. Yeah, when people told me it got better, I believed them. And trust me, it does not get better. Do not even entertain the nurse social link in Persona 4. I hated it. I finished the whole social link. And because of that, I had to see her again. Oh, God. I hate thinking about it. Anyway. Okay. Adachi makes it peak. True. I really enjoyed Adachi. Not in like, I don't want to spoil anything. Anyway. Nanako is the best! Oh my god, I love Nanako. Like, I will protect Nanako with everything that I have. I want Nanako to be the protagonist of Persona 6. I love her. She's the best! And I loved Kanji. Yeah, I mean, I overall liked the cast except for Yosuke. So. And it sucked because when I first met Yosuke, I was like, oh, I like him. He's quirky. He's like Ryuji vibes. And then I was like... I've seen a lot of people say that like it would have been better. I guess like the game was data mined and there was supposed to be a social link where you could date Yosuke. And then some of like the scenes that are perceived as homophobic, which they very much are, would have been more understandable because then it would be like he just had internalized homophobia if there had actually been like a storyline in which he could be romantic with the protagonist, if that makes sense. But they got rid of that. So it wasn't even like, oh, he's, yeah, just ew. I don't know why they did that. Maybe it is a Japanese thing. I'm not sure. I think regardless, it's still not an excuse though. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of times people use that as the excuse. It's like, oh, well, it's a Japanese game. Like, okay, it doesn't make it okay. I like the remake better than Rebirth. Oh, man. We will say that it's close to equal. But... upon reflection, I will say that I did enjoy Remake's story just a little bit more. But I think that's my own fault. So I was talking to John. Yeah. What? Rebirth is peak. It is peak, but of course it's peak. I consider it peak, but how do I explain this? I think if I hadn't done every single side quest, I would have enjoyed the story of Rebirth more. And I hate to say that. But yeah, I would say I like Remake and Rebirth almost the same though. It really is quite interchangeable because I like them in different ways. I like the simplicity of Remake's story more. I like the linearity of it because I am a very linear gamer, unfortunately. Kind of hate that about myself, but I'm not gonna lie, I am. I struggle when it comes to open world games. I get very overwhelmed. And yeah. So I did get a little bit overwhelmed with Rebirth, even though I enjoyed 100%ing the areas and everything. I did at a point start just doing it because I felt like I had to, because I had already 100% of the other areas and it became more like an addiction than it did like, I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was also kind of an addiction. Just being honest, but I do think that for me, doing like literally every single side quest in Rebirth made the main story spread out too much for me, which made it feel less cohesive, or I don't know how to word it. I don't know. Yeah. Does that make sense? The combat's better though. Like pretty much everything is better about Rebirth. In my opinion, Rebirth is a better remake. It really is. Like objectively, they really improved so much, and it's beautiful and amazing. But I guess I just wish that I would have approached the game differently, and that's my fault. That's my own fault. I just think I think in the future going forward, I'm not going to do every single side quest or get every single intel, and I'm going to go back and do that stuff because I just think that that works better for me personally. Yeah. But yes, getting to see Zach. 10 out of 10 experience. Tales of Arise is peak. That's a controversial one. I know. That's I think it's peak. And it's so biased, but I just think the romance in that game is the best romance in like any game I've ever played. I'm being so serious. The combat, you know, it's not like the best. It's not the most like perfect combat. The story has a couple of weird moments, I think, but I am such a hopeless romantic, and let me tell you, if you like romance, Tales of Arise is the game for you. It is the best romance. It's cheesy. You have to like cheesy romance, but oh my god, so good. Like I can't even. I loved it. They are so freaking cute. They are so cute. Yeah. And I love Hootle. I love the whole cast of Arise. They were all very likable. Yeah, I really liked it. Do I think it's as good as Symphonia? Not writing wise. I still think Symphonia is better just because the writing is just like out of this world. But Tales of Arise's romance is enough for me to make it peak. It's so good. Play it. It's, yeah, you get put off by cheesy romance. That's so valid. A lot of people feel that way, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone's different. But me personally, I love a good cheesy romance. Love it. I want a cheesy romance with some really emotional music. Make me freaking cry. Oh my god, Tales of Arise made me cry so hard at the end. It was just gorgeous. It was, and also, oh my god, the music. The intros, the anime intros. I still listen to Hibana every single day of my life. Like, it's so good. The intros just go hard. They slap. And for me, that's part of the enjoyment. So, for me, Tales of Vesperia's intro, mid. Berserria's intro is pretty good. Symphonia, peak. And Arise, peak. Yeah. But we're not ranking their intros, so ignore me. I'm saving P3 Reload for last because that was the last jrpg I completed. I'm excited though to rank that one because you might not know what I would rank it. I don't think you do. Maybe you do. Octopath 2 is a very underrated game. I'm gonna give it an S. Underrated. I haven't beaten it yet. I haven't beaten it yet, but I would give it an S because, man, it's underrated. It's beautiful. The music's so good. The little stories are great. I only haven't beaten it just because I got a little bit overwhelmed with it, but I loved it. It's so good. So good. Sometimes, like, there's, like, too many stories, so I'm just, like, I get overwhelmed. That's just how I am, but I still really loved it. I never played the first Octopath. I played the demo, but I never played it. But I was told that, like, you didn't have to play 1, and you don't. It's, yeah. 2 is so good, though. Yeah. All right. Oh my god, I can't believe we're on the last one. This is crazy. I do need to go through and shuffle them a little bit, though, because I don't think it's, like, perfect. No, it's not. I don't think. Yeah, the turn-based system is so good. All right, so P3 Reload. It's peak. It's peak. Like, it was so good. Yeah, it's my favorite Persona game. I would put it before. I need to move these around. But yeah, this is the almost completed tier list. I do need to actually, like, swap them around, but I can only do so much because some of them it's like I like them equally, but this was hard. A lot of peak games. A lot of peak games. This is my official JRPG tier list. Okay, so something about P3R that makes it so peak for me. Obviously the entire game was just amazing. But something that stands out that I've never experienced with any other game is that the ending of it did not hit me until after I finished it, which while I was very embarrassed, I think for me that makes the game very special. Because I think that means that the ending did what it was supposed to. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah. I felt silly that I didn't understand it. But I think the way that it hit me after I beat it and had like a mental breakdown, I've just never experienced that with a game before. So I don't know. It's very special. It's a special game. That's never happened to me before. Like that's so much more than a game when it can evoke that kind of feeling out of you. Yeah. I need to continue editing that series for YouTube because it's fun to edit. It's just I'm trying to condense it quite a bit. I don't want to have like 10 videos, so I'm trying to make part 2 like all the way up to October. I enjoyed P3, but I didn't like the tartar sauce. That's valid. Yeah. Tartarus is definitely not as good as the palaces in P5R for sure. But story-wise, P3 is my favorite. Imagine playing P3 as a teen. God, that would wreck me. It would absolutely destroy me. Okay, we need to definitely order these a little bit better. Oh my god. This is hard. So for me, since I am a story girl, even though Elden Ring is an S tier for me and like Sekiro, I would still put them like over here just because they don't have like they're not like story focused, which is fine, but they're lore focused. Tales of Arise is much higher. Probably here. Ooh. Yeah. This feels right. Yeah. We're locked in with the... Yeah. I'm locked in at peak. I'm locked in. Okay. There we go. Yeah, like that. Hi. Grand Blue Fantasy, I didn't play enough of it. I really want to though. Oh my god. I'm also trying to see if there's any that I was maybe a little too harsh on that I should switch. Cause that's possible. You know, I could put Shield higher just because I love the Gigantamax. Is that what it's called? The song? Final Fantasy X, save it! Bouncer is peak? No, it's not! No! Absolutely not. This feels right. I think this is my official tier list. I think I'm done. Oh, I don't know. It feels like I'm locked in. At some point I want to add more games and do like every game I've ever played. I need to do that, but I thought, you know, JRPG, that's like my favorite game, so D tier could be renamed. Oh. How's that? Does that feel a little bit better? It's a game. It's the bouncer. I don't even know if it's a JRPG, like I said earlier. I don't think it is. It might not. It's like the combat is like combo focused. I don't even think you level up, do you? I don't know. But I wanted to put it here because it's funny. Any JRPGs I'm thinking of playing soon? It's not a JRPG, but I'm gonna be playing the Zelda series soon. I need to play Yakuza 0. And I really want to play Scarlet Nexus. I've never played Scarlet Nexus, but I love Tales games, as you can see. So, yeah. Now again, to be clear, I pretty much enjoyed every single game on this list in some way. I just love JRPGs in general. And some of my rants, you know, I could be a little bit harsh, and it's mostly just because of my own expectations. And again, it really is just all preferences. It's all just subjective, and some of these games I think I could put higher, but I'm stubborn, and like there might have just been something in the game that just kind of ruined it for me a little bit. Or not ruined it, but like, you know, just made me have to rank it a bit lower. But I did enjoy all of these games. Even the bouncer, it was funny. The part where that lady like jumps off of the bridge like abruptly out of nowhere, and she does like a swan dive. Oh my god, that was so funny. So I still enjoyed it in some ways. Yakuza 0's peak. I get recommended it a lot, even though I never really felt like that'd be a game that I'd be into, but I get recommended it quite a bit, so. I'm playing through Yakuza 7 for the first time, and it might be #1 favorite JRPG. Wow. Gotta love the ragdolling in the bouncer. True. That's true. Let me see. Any interest in Megami Tensei? Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in trying them at some point. Some say Zeldas are JRPGs. Yeah, I don't think they are. I would say action adventure. That is going to be my next, like, series, though, that I play through. I am a Zelda noob, so. They're so long. Wait, which ones? Yakuza? No, I haven't tried ZZZ. No. I've been taking a break from gacha games, actually. I don't know how long I will be taking a break from gacha games, but I'm taking a break. The bouncer is KH0. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I needed a break. Too many games that I want to play through, and I just felt so overwhelmed keeping up with the gacha games in my life. It's been a lot. Yeah. So I needed a break. And also, like, just some stuff that I didn't agree with. How, like, Natlin was handled and stuff. Just, that was enough to make me like, I need a break. When you play Yakuza, be sure to take your time and enjoy them. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I'll play all of them. I know for sure I'm going to play 0, but I love that the bouncer has its own tier. It's raw. KH3 peak? KH3 is peak. I don't care what anyone says. It's peak. It is so peak. Riku! No. He really does want to turn my PC off. Sir! No. Go! SS is the biggest tier. Yeah. Yeah, double S it's extensive, and that's because I love JRPGs. And quite honestly, I could put most of these games as peak. Most JRPGs I've played have been peak, like I would still say. Like if you catch me saying, oh my god, Xenogears is peak, I do think it's peak. I do. I just can't put everything in the double S category. It's peak, but it had some points docked. Does that make sense? Yeah, JRPGs are just a peak form of media. Exactly. If there are no Kingdom Hearts 3 lovers, I am dead. Yo, same. Listen, it is okay for people to not like Kingdom Hearts 3, but man, tell somebody you love Kingdom Hearts 3 and it's like the end of the world for some people. Like literally, it's like the end of the world. Like, oh my god, how can you like that game? That game is awful. That was the biggest disappointment of my life. I waited 13 years for Kingdom Hearts 3. Why would you put that as double S? That is so disrespectful. I loved it. I'm a Kingdom Hearts 3 defender till the end. The reason I put it as number 1, and I've said this before, is because quite frankly, I have a hard time picking my favorite Kingdom Hearts game, and it's kind of a cop-out. But it's like, oh, well, Kingdom Hearts 3 combines the beauty of all 3 games. It combines all the characters. They all get to reunite. And for me, that is very beautiful. So that's why I picked that. Why is Treehouse in C? Treehouse? What's Treehouse? Fire Emblem? Which one? Oh, 3 houses. Oh, I get it. Why is it in C? Well, I did explain, but basically I just didn't care for the story, but I did the Golden Deer route, so the story just for me just didn't really hit. That's all. I like to cry. If a game, unfortunately, you know what? I do rank my games on how much I cried. I'm not gonna lie. Not completely. Elden Ring doesn't make me cry. Well, it does in another way. Any of the story-focused games are kind of ranked on how hard I cried. I won't lie. Not really, though. I cried pretty hard at Tales of Berseria, but I didn't even know why I was crying. So that's a weird one for me. Did anyone else experience that? Like, Tales of Berseria had me confused. Oh. Like, what's going on? And why am I crying? I don't know. That's a weird game. The ending was weird. It was odd, but I still cried pretty hard. Dart, thank you for the 100 bits. You always cry. To Berseria? Are these all the games you've played?
I always cry.
God, that scared me. Forgot about that. This is a comprehensive list of all of the JRPGs I have played. I am going to be making a tier list at some point with all of the games I've played, like every single game. But yeah, not yet. If you like crying, you got to get to Xenosaga. That's what I've heard, but I'm just like I know that like it's delusional, like incredibly delulu of me, but I would love for them to like remaster them or remake them. So I kind of just waited out. Listen, I know it's probably not going to happen, okay? But a girl can dream. Trust me, I want to play them. But I think Persona 4 is S tier. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. If it wasn't problematic, I would have made it S tier. At least S tier. I might have even made it peak. But it was the problematicness of it docked points for me. It ruined some of the enjoyment of it. But I still overall enjoyed it. I recommend Xenogears, but I also... it's outdated. It was better than I thought it would be. And I had a good time with it. I'm so glad I played it. But I don't think I would replay it. Just because of how... yeah, it's a little rough in some ways. Like the platforming. Oh, God. Oh, I hope they remake it. Oh, my... I think Xenogears would be one of my favorite games ever if they remade it in the style of Xenoblade, and I know that's such a hot take because some people really are fond of the old style of it, and I totally get it. It has a lot of charm, and I still, don't get me wrong, I loved it. I think Disc 2 is a masterpiece. I like Disc 2 more than Disc 1. But I think that it would become one of my favorite games ever if they did it like Xenoblade. Like with voiced cutscenes and like, oh my god, remixed versions of the soundtrack. Like it, oh, I would love that. Am I gonna react to Gamescom on Tuesday? Probably. I didn't realize that was Tuesday. What time? Probably. Is that Dragon Quest on B? Yeah, Dragon Quest 11. And to give it a fair shot, I might move it up. Maybe someday. But I have to I gotta finish Act 3. And I don't know if I'm gonna stream it or if I should just do it off stream and then just like give my thoughts. I feel like at this point it's like that ship has sailed. I don't know if anybody would really want to watch me stream Act 3 after how long it took me to get to it, but we'll see. Yeah, I was finishing up Act 2. I think it was my finale stream of Act 2, and somebody came into my stream and they were like, I want to tell you what they said without spoiling it myself, but I can't. I can't. They spoiled the premise of Act 3 though, essentially. Yeah, I don't want to say it cuz I feel like then I'm spoiling it, but Act 3 is so divisive too, so I don't think it's worth the headache. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll be there no matter what. Wow, thank you. Play Act 3 off stream and wait, there's Act 4? What? Wait! I didn't know that. 2 p.m. on Tuesday? Eastern time? Huh. Weren't you gonna play The Last of Us 2? That one? Oh my god, that one's so, like... I really wanted to stream it, but I've heard that it's a super rough experience to stream it. And so I've just kind of held off on playing it. I loved The Last of Us. And I don't typically enjoy games like that, but I really, really loved The Last of Us. The story was beautiful. Not very good at the combat, but it was fun. And yeah, I would like to play The Last of Us 2. And I kind of did want to stream it, but I've heard, I don't know why it's a bad experience to stream it, but I think one of the reasons, unfortunately, is that people come in and can be homophobic, and that's not something I would want to risk. If the reason it was rough to stream is because people just don't like it and they want to come in and hate on the game, that would be one thing. But I don't want to risk like the safety of people in chat by playing it. Does that make sense? Because I've been told that, yes, people are... I think people are probably chilled now because no one cares anymore. Yeah, and that's something I thought about. Like, it's kind of blown over now, but... Yeah, true synonym. Yeah, I don't want to risk that. Didn't want to risk that, so... People get homophobic, and yeah, I don't like that. I don't want to risk it, so that's why I've never streamed it. Yep. Oh, look at Pinot! He's so cute! Since the show coming out, it might... Yeah, that's true. I need to finish... You guys! I never finished The Last of Us, the show. I never finished it because Jonathan and I got so depressed after episode 3 that... we didn't continue. Okay, it's not until next year. Okay. It's kind of giving them what they want. I can see where you're coming from. The problem is, like, I have some trolls who come into my stream, and even with all of the really strict measurements we have in place to prevent that, people still find a way to get through the filters and stuff. And I just don't want to risk people having to see messages like that, you know what I mean? Didn't play part 2, so I'll be watching the show version. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I could do that too, I guess. But I'd like to play it. I'd like to play it and form my own opinion on it, for sure. This list reminds me that you need to play Chrono Cross. I do. And Tales of... I know, I want to play Tales of the Abyss so bad! I want to play that game so bad. I really do. Like, it's... The problem is... I mean, at least remaster it. You don't have to remake it. At least remaster it like Tales of Symphonia, and I would play it. It'd be an easy play. yeah. I just, I don't want to emulate it. I don't want to. The fact that it hasn't been ported is a crime. Yeah, I've heard that like some people like it even more than Symphonia, and for me, Symphonia is just so peak. I feel like the graphics aged pretty well. I love Chrono Cross music. I've heard a little bit of it. I listened to like a soundtrack and it was so cozy. But I hear mixed things about Chrono Cross. Like I really want to play it. I don't know if it's the gameplay people don't like or the store. I don't know what people don't like about it. But I hear a lot of mixed things, and also I heard that the Switch port is kind of, or not the Switch port, but like the new version of it is kind of rough. But maybe they fixed it. Did they fix it? I have it. It was gifted to me, so I definitely want to play it. But I just, I guess it's just not like a main priority. But I'm definitely gonna play it. Was Chrono Trigger good? Yes, very good. A lot of people would recommend not to play the Steam version, but I played the Steam version and it was fine. It was fine. If that's like the most accessible way for you to play it, then by all means. But I think a lot of people actually recommend playing the DS version. I don't know. 3D DS? I don't know. Probably just DS. Sea of Stars. I started that. I don't think that's a JRPG. I think that's JRPG inspired, right? Sea of Stars is a game that I would love to finish though. I started it and I loved it so much, but I had already been playing other games at the time. So I didn't continue it. I've tried playing I Am Setsuna. I tried playing I Am Setsuna 3 times. I don't know why I got bored. I wanted to like it though. But I don't know how far I got. I have it on my Switch, I could check. But yeah, I can't finish that game. I know it's not a JRPG, but what would you rank Undertale on this list? Ooh, yeah, okay, so like do you know how much it pained me to not be able to put that on here? Because it's JRPG inspired. I would put Undertale, probably right after Shadowbringers. In between Shadowbringers and Endwalker. Yeah. That's where I would put it. That's tough though. Why aren't they JRPGs? Because they're not Japanese. You should try FF4 again. Yes, I need to. I wanna play the pixel version. the 3D version I was not having it. Oh, I tried so hard. It was my own stubbornness. I chose to play the 3D version because Final Fantasy III was my first, the 3D version for the DS. So I wanted to play Final Fantasy IV in that same style because I thought it would be more comfy for me, but it was too hard. JRPG is a genre, true, but I just think that a game is not a JRPG unless it's Japanese, personally. There are JRPG-inspired RPGs, but I mean, I don't know. I just felt like that would be kind of like a gray area, so I just didn't include them. 100% if I put Undertale here, people would be like, that's not a JRPG. Yeah, we did it in a literal sense, true. Whoa. The bouncer. Can I ask why Fire Emblem 3 Houses is a C tier? Yeah, so I only did the Golden Deer route, and while I enjoyed my time with the game, I didn't connect with the story. And I felt like sometimes I would feel a little bit exhausted with how much combat I had to do. It was my first tactical game, so I think it just got overwhelming for me. I enjoyed the social aspect of the game, but sometimes even like that was something though. So like I enjoyed getting to know the characters, but I remember there being like too many cutscenes between two people. Those cutscenes overwhelmed the absolute heck out of me. Like they were cute and sometimes I really enjoyed them, but it was too much for me. So that's like another, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's just not a game for me. I think that's all it is. I don't think it's a bad game by any means. I think it's a very enjoyable game. And even being a C means I enjoyed it. it's just not my favorite, I guess. But then again, I did only do the Golden Deer route. So it's hard for me to make like a very fair assessment when I've only done one route. So what is a JRPG? Sounds like the start of an argument yet. And that's why I decided to, well, that's why I made a disclaimer from the very beginning. Like, some of these might not be JRPGs. Like, some of them are like a gray area, right? Like, personally, I never thought of Elden Ring as a JRPG, because when I think of a JRPG, I do typically think of like a more like cartoon style game, if that makes sense. But, and also like more story focused, but Elden Ring won best JRPG, or best RPG. And yeah, so it is a JRPG. So yeah, I don't know. Like Genshin or Persona. Genshin is definitely not a JRPG, yeah. Some people think Zelda is, yeah. I used to think it was, until I was corrected. Yeah. Now do a tier list of Kingdom Hearts characters or Xenoblade characters. Oh my god. Maybe another day for sure. I love making tier lists, but I have to say my brain gets tired. This one, I've been streaming for 2 hours and there are not that many games on this list. And man, it took me like an hour and a half to do this list. It took a lot of brain power, and I'm still unsure about some of the placements. Oh, looking at it makes my brain hurt. You like the tier list content? I'm so glad. It's fun. It's fun because like I can tell you guys my opinions, and then I like hearing your opinions too. I really do. Like I think it's fun to see different perspectives. Like as long as we're giving our perspectives respectfully, and you know, I think there's nothing wrong with it. I would consider Souls games action games myself. Yeah, I never really thought of them as RPGs, but it got best RPG over Xenoblade 3. Ha. I remember when I helped my friend stream her ranking every episode of new Doctor Who. Whoa. Doctor Who. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know Doctor Who is like extensive lore. Maybe next list could be favorite non-RPG games. True. Crash Bandicoot, Neopets the Darkest Fairy. What else? Undertale, of course. Life is Strange. Golf Balls is rating. Actually, I don't know if they're done yet. I was gonna play Elden Ring with him if because he said he was down. But I'm gonna text him and see what he's up to. Are you still rating Shrek Super Slam? I've never played that. Sometimes faux retro makes me want to play games like that though. Oh, he said yeah, they're still rating. They normally end at 11 though, in 30 minutes. So if you guys want some Elden Ring content, if Jonathan's down, I could. Because it's he said he's listening to the stream. He's like yeah, 11. Well, but I don't know if he's gonna be. Are you gonna be like too tired after rating? This is such a cool idea. I love seeing people put thought and care into their experiences. Yeah, I do apologize though for when I get passionate. I can't. I feel like I was a little harsh on Final Fantasy X, admittedly. To be super clear, I think 10 is a masterpiece. I think we can all agree that 10 is a masterpiece. I think that there were just a couple of things that I didn't fully resonate with. And I also think that sometimes when And I try really hard not to let it affect me, but I do think sometimes when games are like super, super, super hyped up, I think unfortunately sometimes that makes me not enjoy it as much. Not always. It's weird because sometimes people will hype up a game for me and it makes me enjoy it more because I'm like, oh, you're getting me excited to play it. But I think for me, Final Fantasy X was one of those games that it was hyped up hard. And I don't know. Maybe I just sucked at it. It's probably what it was. It's probably my own fault. I feel salty because I was bad at it. That's probably what it was. I see that. You had 10. I know. I put 10 in A rank, but people, or S rank. Yeah, I know 10 is an S rank. I put 10 in S rank, but I think people are still asking, like, I've seen a few people be like, why'd you put it in the S rank and not double S? And it's really just for like a couple of reasons. One, I just wanted Yuna to have a little bit more character development because she was such an important character. That's all. And it's okay for people to disagree about that because she's a lovely character. I just felt like there were points where there was a little bit of a lacking of personality. That's all. And maybe it was just because like back then, like voice acting direction was a little bit more flat. I feel like that could have something to do with it. It might have just been the voice acting. Not that they were a bad voice actress, just the direction maybe was a bit different back then. And then yeah, I got spoiled on one of the best cutscenes in the game, so I don't let that stuff go. I want to. I wish I could. It's hard not to. Unfortunately, sometimes when something gets spoiled, it really can hurt the impact. And that would have been, and it is my favorite cutscene in the game. It is. But I think the impact of it would have been so much better. Why'd you spoil it? Clive is different. Clive is awesome. I love Clive. Hard not to put 10 a tier above 9. Where did I put 9? Oh. No, I did enjoy 9 and 8 a little bit more than... Well, I don't know. I would say almost equal. I would say Final Fantasy 8, 9, and 10 for me were all three very enjoyable S tier experiences that are very special to me and that I will remember forever. But I think... I don't know. I just don't think I resonated with the story of 10 as much as I wanted to. I guess. I don't know why though. What got spoiled? I don't want to spoil it. Very beautiful cutscene. Very beautiful cutscene. Not the final cutscene. The second most beautiful cutscene in the game, I would say. Got spoiled. What was going to happen in that cutscene? Even though, I guess, like, looking back, it was probably kind of obvious, but also, like, I didn't want to know. Late game. It was watery. Yeah, it was watery. Yes. Okay, I don't refuse to play 12. I'm hesitant to play 12. I don't refuse, though. It's 23 years old. I think it's okay. What, for somebody to spoil it? Oh, for me to spoil it? No, I wouldn't want to do that to somebody. Honestly, even if a game is old, I still try very hard not to spoil stuff. I will say I do have a really bad habit of spoiling Kingdom Hearts. Like specifically if I'm playing Kingdom Hearts, but sometimes like even if I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2, I will spoil 3 or like the future games and not really think about it. I don't do it on purpose. But other than that, I try really hard. I don't want to spoil old games because I didn't play some of these old games until recently, and I would have hated for them to be spoiled for me. I will say pretty much everyone knows the Final Fantasy VII spoiler, but even still, I don't want to say it. I'm not going to say it. Kingdom Hearts is just so much. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. And I think sometimes I just do kind of assume that everybody who's in my Kingdom Hearts streams has already played all of the Kingdom Hearts games, but that's definitely not always the case. So I need to be more careful. Haven't I played Recoded? A little bit. Yeah. Not enough for me to rank it. I only played it a little bit and then I've watched the movie. Am I gonna play Dragon Quest III 2D HD? I might. It depends. I don't know how the story and music are. Because those are two very important things to me. And for me, Dragon Quest XI did not deliver on the story or the music. P4G surprisingly low. Yeah. Would have ranked it peak if it wasn't problematic. If it didn't make me uncomfortable multiple times. Would have ranked it peak, literally. Persona 4 Golden's ending is probably my favorite Persona ending. Yeah. Yeah. Really good. 3's story is very simple. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna play it then. I quit Dragon Quest XI because of the music. The music's not good. Yeah, it's nothing to ride home about. Right? Is it ride or right? You know what? I think it's right because like it's like an old saying. Nothing to. Oh, it's gotta be right because like if you were away from home and you were like doing something cool, you would write home. Oh, duh. I don't know why. I think I've always been confused if it's ride or right, but now like it clicked in my head when I was talking about it. It'd be write home because you'd like write a letter and then yeah. Okay. But you know what? It's ride now. Well, because I was thinking like, what if it's like riding home like on a horse? Like that was kind of like the vision I had. That was like the mental image. Like nothing to ride home about. Like I'm so excited. I'm gonna ride home on my horse. I don't know. I do apologize. Jonathan says he's down to game with Shrek. Okay, are you guys down for the Elden Ring? Are you down? I've been craving out. I'm not going to be able to play for too long. I kind of want to end stream by 1 o'clock. So it's in like 1.5 hours. By like 1:30. I need to fix my sleep schedule. Okay, it's bad. Terrible. It was getting so much better and it's bad again and I don't like it. 1 p.m. 24. I'm just waiting for Wuwa. Oh, nice. I've heard people have been really enjoying Wuwa. You know what game you... Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of people disagree with that. And that's fine. I'm a Kingdom Hearts 3 enjoyer till the day I die. That Ventus scene? Oh my god. See, I'm doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna go into detail, but peak. So peak. Oh my god. We're gonna be playing Elden Ring DLC. I started the Elden Ring DLC on Monday. Yes, Trails games. I might play them next year. Maybe next year. I really want to start them, but man, it is truly... Well, there are some rumors right now about a remake, remaster or something. I'm gonna wait, because if they remaster, I'm gonna play. Feel bad for people who didn't enjoy Kingdom Hearts 3. Same, because I mean... I'm sure they wanted to enjoy it, you know what I mean? And I think it does suck that, you know, there's a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans out there who were disappointed by 3. I really sometimes feel like Kingdom Hearts 3 was like made for me. And I don't mean like me specifically, I just mean like players like me. Like I feel like it was definitely made for a very specific demographic of the fan base. And so I think, yeah, I can see why people don't like it. It felt like it was perfect for me. I loved it. I don't know. Except for starting with Olympus, that's crazy.
I'm back.
I mean, starting with Olympus, that's just, get out of here with that. Why? I know it's because 0.2 was supposed to be the intro, but like, please, I can't. You can put Olympus in Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm against it, but you can do it. Just don't make it the first world, because that's actually insane. Like, you're so wrong for that. Don't do it again. I hope 4 starts with Olympus. I will literally cry. Like, I'm not okay with that. Let's not do that. Please. I don't think I would have liked it as much if I had seen all the trailers. Oh, for sure. Yeah, they overproduced trailers. I think they did that as a way to like keep people interested and also to keep people satisfied while we waited for the game to come out because of the early announcement. But I think they've learned their lesson, guys. Like, the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer drought may suck. We've only seen one trailer. But I think that it's probably for the best. They've definitely learned their lesson, I think. So I think for me, it's not even that I need trailers. Even like crumbs of news, like crumbs of like information regarding the development for me would satisfy me. Not that they owe that to us, because they don't. They really don't. Like, do your thing. If you don't feel ready to say anything, that's valid. I think it's just like the unknown makes people feel antsy, I guess. It makes me feel antsy. Like I'm so ready to hear news, but I'm okay with waiting. It's just it feels like we're getting close. I do feel like we're gonna get some Kingdom Hearts news very soon. I really do. I have played Sekiro. I played it years ago. I played it when it first came out. Kingdom Hearts 3 having a trailer for the final battle. I actually do think people would have enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3 more if they didn't watch all the trailers. I do. Yeah. I mean, like, me personally, I don't feel that way, but I actually do think I would have enjoyed 3 more if I hadn't watched all the trailers. I do. But I still enjoyed it a lot. And I also look back very fondly on trailer hype. And so I think that's why I'm like okay with it. But I don't think they should do it again. Like, I think it was fine for the time because they didn't know that was going to be too much. It's not like they were trying to spoil people. I think they just wanted to keep people excited. And trust me, it worked. It worked. We Kingdom Hearts fans were eating so good and like we were getting so much news and it was great, but they definitely shouldn't do it again. Yeah. This is a great list. Oh, thank you. Yeah, get a good look. Get a good look at the list before I exit. This is the official Sarah Key JRPG tier list. Some hot takes on here, okay, please? Do not take offense. These are just my opinions. Some are based and some probably aren't, and that's okay. But yeah, this is how I feel about video games or JRPGs. And at the end of the day, even C's are not bad. I still like Fire Emblem 10-2, 13-2 in their own way. Yeah. I liked all of these games except for perhaps the Bouncer. I at least liked them all. I'm a JRPG girly. Like, it's pretty hard for me to play a JRPG and be like, I don't like this. Can you think of some RPGs that aren't JRPGs? That I've played? Horizon Zero Dawn? God of War? Right? Have I played any others? I don't know, because games with guns are not RPGs, right? Aren't those more action games? I don't know. Sure, yeah, I guess it's not. I don't know. I don't even know what an RPG would be that I've played. What is an RPG? That's not a JRPG. Yeah, I think I only really play JRPGs. Yeah. Wait, Destiny? I have played Destiny. Yeah, Undertale. I love Undertale. Undertale is a masterpiece. Skyrim? Is that an RPG? God, I actually really don't like Skyrim. Sorry. Have I played Earthbound? No, but I would like to. I specifically want to play Mother 3. But I think you need to play Earthbound to play that, right? But I specifically want to play Mother 3. I have a deal with the streamer Unalesca that I would play Mother 3 if she played Undertale. And I really want to watch her play Undertale. So I'm like, man, I gotta play that. You're done? Yes! Shrek and Sonic! Let's freaking go! Should definitely play Earthbound. Yeah, I've heard it's good. I've heard it's not like super emotional though, but Mother 3 is very emotional. Golf Balls, did you see my tier list?
I saw a little bit. I saw the bouncer has its own.
You want to come look at my tier list and give your commentary?
Kingdom Hearts, S, of course.
They're in order too.
Xenoblade, Shadowbringers, okay, and Walker. Oh, nice. 7 and Rebirth. And Remake. And Reunion. Tales of Arise. Not bad. Okay, Dark Souls 3 is S tier, huh? You got Shadow Memories, 250. Number 2. Okay. Oh, 8. I like. 8, 9, 10, 13. Cool. Birth by Sleep. Awesome. Dream Drop Distance, A. Yeah. Lightning Returns. Okay, you have 3-2 or 13-2C. Yeah. Yeah. What the hell is that?
That's Vesperia.
Okay. Yeah, I see now. Do you beat Dragon? That's Dragon Quest 11?
I beat Act 1 and 2. I felt like it was enough.
Oh yeah, you got spoiled, right?
Yeah, I
Astral
probably
Chain.
shouldn't have included it. It's not fair.
Interesting. Violet, Pokemon White,
Yeah, I'm
Shield.
not the like I like the Pokemon games, but they're not my favorite.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Not bad.
Thank you.
I wonder if you're missing any.
I know, I can't tell if I'm missing any. I'm missing Pokemon Let's Go, but I was like, I mean, that's like kind of different. Anyway. That is actually my favorite one, though. I would rank it in A.
Has there been any more on the DS? The 3DS?
Pokemon?
No, just like JRPGs.
Oh, JRPGs.
Didn't you play like that?
Fantasy Life? Is that a JRPG?
Yeah, I was about to say Fantasy Life.
I love Fantasy Life.
I don't know what that's.
I don't know. It's like an Animal Crossing JRPG hybrid. Like, oh, that game is so fun.
What about The Sims?
That's not a JRPG. The Sims?
The Sims on the DS?
What are you saying?
The Sims on the DS.
That's not a Japanese game, though.
Oh, of course.
I don't even know if that's an RPG anyway. Like, come on. The Sims for the DS. That game's crazy. That game is actually crazy. Like, culture taste. He's talking about, so I have this game that I used to play as a kid on the DS. It's a Sims game. It's like The Sims 2, but it's not played like a traditional Sims game. Like you don't build a house and like have, like you actually control a character and there's a story. It's very odd. It's a nightmare fuel game, but I love it. I replayed it like a couple years ago. I think maybe a year ago. It wasn't that long ago. I replayed it.
Yeah, it wasn't long. It's a weird game.
It's a weird game, but I actually recommend it. I don't know exactly. I think it's just called Sims 2 for the DS.
Yeah.
But it's not a normal Sims game. It's literally like I don't even know how to explain it. You should play it though. Dark Cloud, you built a village and go to dungeons to get supplies for the village. I've heard Dark Cloud is good. Yeah. Also, okay, so yeah, Mother 3 is a crying game. I saw you guys. I was reading your messages. And then Earthbound still made you guys cry. So I'll have to play that. I know Jackie's playing Earthbound. I was seeing she was playing that. I hope she's liking it. Yeah, I want to play it at some point. I know Nixie played it. Oh yeah, I have one more. Okay, I was trying to think of the example of why I felt like Yuna could have been like a stronger character. And I'm sorry to bring this up again, but I just want to. This is like I want to give my explanation, okay? Because I still feel guilty. But there was this part where I don't know who I was talking to, but there's like dialogue, and it's like, go to Yuna. And oh my god, this is so ingrained in my memory. It was like, go to Yuna, and I go to Yuna, and she just goes, I'm scared. Girl. I was told to go to you. What do you mean? Why did they do that? Earthbound and M3 are great. Yeah, I want to play them. That was Riku, I think. Oh, okay. Am I peckish? We don't have anything quick to make. That's the problem. No, I don't hate Yuna. No, she's a sweet pea. She's an angel. I want to protect her, but I also want to see her. I guess it's like the way I feel about Yuna is this pretty much the same way that people feel about Kairi, I think. Yeah. So I guess I get all the Kairi hate because I think I feel the same way. I'm gonna go to bed. That's actually such a mood though. Never played the Bouncer, but it has its own category. Yeah, that game is a game. It is a game. Tales of Vesperia. Yes, as you can see, I have placed it in B tier. It's B tier, my friends. It's a great game. It is. I think I judged it a little bit harshly because of Act 3. Yeah. It would have been much higher if the Act 3 didn't disappoint me. Act 3 was one of the biggest disappointments of any game I've ever experienced. Just like, man, like the hype was set up. It was set up, and then I did Act 3 and I was like, what is this? It felt like they rushed it. It felt like they were like, we need to get this part out. We gotta finish this game. Bouncer should have been peak. It could have been. It was kind of like a test game. So that's why it gets its own category. I'm gonna take a screenshot of it. All Xenoblades at the top where they belong. Absolutely. Peak. So peak. Incredibly peak. Yeah. What about Bloodborne? I haven't played it. I only played a little bit of the beginning, but I want to play it for Halloween, perhaps? 3 Houses in C tier is wild. I know people keep looking at. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was a little slow, okay? I'm like an iPad kid sometimes. Like I need a little more of a fast pace. Sometimes stuff's just, it's a little too much. It's a little too slow. It's just, I don't know. I'll blame myself for it though. I need a little more dopamine. It's like playing chess. It's like playing chess with like a little bit of story every 10 hours. I'm sorry. It's good. I liked it though. C is not bad. It was okay. What? Don't show the fire emblems. I'm sorry. That's how I feel with Xenoblade 1 so far. That's valid. I don't know. I loved Xenoblade 1, but I think honestly for me story-wise 2 and 3 are more exciting. But Xenoblade 1, there's something about it that's very special to me. It really sets the tone for the series. I think it's but yeah, it's definitely not as like emotional as 2 and 3. It's not as like I don't know. I want to play it on the Wii. I have it on the Wii. Xenoblade 1 just has a it's just like there's sometimes a game is just special and you don't really know why. You should tweet your rankings and then tomorrow we react to your replies. Oh my god. I'm a little nervous. You really think I should? Here, hold on. Let me, oh, how can I, like... You like that? How's that? Okay. Ready? Oh, I could just save it, true. But I was kind of thinking it'd be funny to have, like... like me smiling. Like, kind of like I'm a villain. You know what I mean? Like... yeah. Post it and then get behind me. I like that, and then I'll crop it. You missed the DMC games? We were talking about that earlier. They're not JRPGs. So they don't count. Otherwise, I would have included them, for sure. Will I post it on YouTube? Maybe. I might make it into a YouTube video. I was thinking I probably would, but we'll see. Okay, I need to do like my greatest villain pose. I feel like that's good. Look into the camera. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I mean, listen, like I said, the thing is I really enjoy hearing other people's opinions. As long as it's like respectful, like who cares? You know what I mean? Passion's okay though. I love this song. Okay, now I'm gonna crop it. Oh. Do anything just to see you. Okay. We have a screenshot. I like how in the screenshot it says post it and then delete. Somebody said post it and then delete your account. Oh my god. No, it's actually really funny. Golf balls. What did you want to eat? What do you want to eat? Ah. My definitive JRPG tier list. Okay, I posted it. Missed the Legend of Heroes series? No, I didn't. Because they're JRPGs I've played, and I've never played those. So no. But yeah. I'd like to play them. Pop in for 2 seconds and leave a lasting impact. You really did. That was a very impactful thing. I'm a little scared. I've been searching all my life. Okay. Let's go Bouncer vs. Dominique. The Bouncer is a good meme game. I think if people are gonna play it, like, you should play it. Like, play it at least once, you know what I mean? Like, it's an experience. It's a video game. And yeah, it's a video game. I don't really have much else to say about it, but it's the dive off of the bridge is probably my favorite part, actually. There are far more unplayable games than the Bouncer. True. I'm sure. The weeps are coming. Hope Sarah plays Breath of Fire. What's that? Is that a JRPG? What do you think your second biggest